So I'm still in South Carolina, just up in the northwest corner. You can see the border right here, but that's where the GPS tracks start. So I just decided to come on all the way over here to the eastern side and start from there, since last time we started at the western end of the trail. So it's about 10 a.m. and it's a beautiful day outside. Alright, so gone not too far. What was that, maybe 10-15 miles. And I stopped here because, let's see, I'm right here, and you can see there's a little junction over here. You can see the sign, 86 Charlie. So I was taking a look at the map, and both Gaia and then my Atlas. The Atlas, of course, provides just the same level of detail of these are roads, but no data whatsoever. Gaia at least kind of shows the topography, so it looks like that trail could be interesting, and then it turns and meets up with this ridge road, Hale Ridge Road, I think it is. So I don't know, and then that comes back up, so it looks like I could do this as a loop. I don't know. It's just impossible to tell based on this little data, like, you know, is there anything interesting that way, or is it just another gravel road? So I think I'm going to skip it and stick with the actual GPS trail, just because that's what has been mapped out. And I mean, who knows, maybe this other road could have something cool on it, but I haven't even done this yet, so I don't want to count it out just yet. And then if I have extra time, maybe I'll come back and check it out. So I took a little side trail, a little Forest Service road. I'll try to remember to show you in Gaia where it's located. It's just a little loop. Doing pretty good on time, and it's not like I'm in any hurry. But if it came across my first obstacle, it's a tiny one. It's nothing to get excited about. But there's a little tree. I thought maybe I could sneak by it, but I think I can just pull it out of the way. Not too exciting, but I figured I'd share. It was pretty rotten. It wasn't too hard. It actually broke instead of having to pull the whole thing. Yeah, let me show you where I'm at. So if I zoom out, that gives you an idea where I'm at with reference to the relative to the starting point on the east. Then there's just this little loop. I've got the Forest Service map up this time instead of the topo from Gaia. But it was a different squiggly indication, so I wasn't sure like how bad it would be, but so far it's just nice gravel road with that one tree laying in it and lots more leaves because it's less traveled, but very flat and good terrain so far. So we'll keep exploring. Took this little side road, still a Forest Service road. It's basically a gravel road, no tough terrain, just that one little tree laying across it. So I figured there would be nobody out here. So I parked the 4Runner and got out to take some glamour shots. And then as I was going back to the 4Runner, the hunter just walked out from the woods and kind of threw me off. But I guess it is hunting season. I just didn't expect to see anybody since there was no indication of vehicles passing through, but he parked up ahead and hiked in. Anyway, this is just beautiful. Still lots of green, but there's quite a bit of the warm colors, and at least this particular trail is really pretty. a fun little detour. Easy terrain, just, you know, don't go flying because of the leaves and might be slippery in a few spots, but you know, I took my time just to kind of scope out. There was 1 or 2 campsites that I would consider. Really only a couple of them were just pull-outs, so really just one decent campsite. So there's that one that was just a small campsite near the creek, but it was on this trail, which is pretty secluded, so I can consider coming back to that. Then there was this one earlier that I found that was next to a bigger creek, and it had a natural pool and even a little bit of a waterfall or water slide because of the big rock it was flowing over. Not that I'm gonna go diving in, but getting down there and getting back up, it was pretty rutted, and it looked like it was kind of that clay that you kind of slide on. So I'm pretty sure I could do it, but considering I don't really want to get in the creek and freeze myself off, it's not really worth going down there, because otherwise it's not that nice of a campsite. So here, looking at the map, let me zoom in a bit. Alright, so yeah, I did that part of that loop there. Took me an hour, but again, I was taking my time and just enjoying the view. Supposedly, it looks like I'm back on this other fairly nice trail. If I took it north, it dead ends up here, so I'm not going to take it today, maybe someday, but I'm going to come back down here to where I was earlier, and then kind of hightail it through there. And so my loose plan is to finish this part of the trail. The orange part there is back on pavement, I believe. It looks like there's a couple towns in there, so I might fuel up if there's an opportunity. And then I'll dive into the next major section over here. You can see there's tons of things like waypoints, and the blue ones are possible campsites, so there's lots of opportunities there. I'm not against staying over here, but I didn't see any campsites that were like, you know, that's amazing, I want to sit there and look at it for a few hours. So I'm glad I came through here. As you can see, there's lots of other Forest Service roads, so I'll keep that in mind. If I run out of things to do, I might come back here and explore some of these other trails off of the traverse. So I'm on the nicer, like more used trail. I don't know all the numbers, but I came across another potential obstacle, but it looks like I'm just gonna fit. I had to kind of slow down coming up to it because I wasn't quite sure, but it looks like I got enough room. Alright, so since I stopped for lunch, I figured I'd do a quick walk around and just kind of show what I have loaded out, at least for this trip, for a solo trip. You know, it's quite a bit different than when I have the full family. I still have the tent on top. I keep thinking maybe I'll take it off, but it is a pain to get off of there and get back on, even with my wife's help. But it's nice to have just as a, you know, if I'm feeling crappy or want a little extra room, it's not that much work to open it up. But a lot of times I'll just sleep in the back. All right, so here's the walk around. Driver's seat, of course, doesn't have a whole lot. And I haven't really talked about this in other videos, but I got my ham radio and my wireless charger for my phone. I usually have a tumbler with some water and a towel just for whatever. Here we go to the back seat. I bought a high lift jack, and there's a set of chains back in there that you can't see. Those are just in case. I've got my wrench set there. My what's it called? Free Spirit Recreation light, solar light. I really like that thing with the little pods that come off. I got my Coleman stove. For my anniversary, my wife got me a tire repair kit. Hopefully I never have to use it, but it's nice to have. And then here's my sleep station. This is actually a, well, and then that's just a tent for if I need a privacy for going potty. So this is an old foam pad, 3-inch memory foam pad from the 23-0 tent. This one we suspected had gotten dirty, so we ordered a new one. Turns out it was fine. So I folded over in half, and you know, it's a little bit too long, but it actually provides a little bit of a raised head area, which is nice. And then of course I got my pillows, down comforter that I bought on my trip last fall when I got really cold. I don't even have a sleeping bag in here. It's in the tent, but if I needed it, I could go get it. Let me go around to the back. So let's see, on my Rago panels I've got a first aid kit, nice utility knife there, and my fire extinguisher just in case something goes wrong. Oh, I forgot to pull this off from last night. This is one of the light pods from the FSR light. I'll just put it here in the little storage area. It's nice to have. Bag of bungees, duffel bag with clothes, tripod for the camp light, and camping chair. When it's time to sleep, I just pack these up onto the cooler. So I've got the sliding out tray stock, that's stock from 4Runner, and I really like it because now I can tie the cooler down to the tray, and then when it's time to close up, I can slide it back in there. On the other panel, got some paper towels and a little brush with a dustpan and some hand soap, antibacterial, just in case. That's the first time I've brought that, but I figured I'd try it out. I got my tool roll, a towel, I've got some tent stakes, and a lithium ion jump start battery, what's it called, a Noco Genius, just in case. You can see the blue bin there, that's got kitchen stuff in it. I got a cast iron skillet, nice and seasoned, but I've got a couple other pots and pans and dry goods in there, and you can see it hangs over a tiny bit, but I can still slide the tray in just fine. A couple more bags with clothes. I've got a week-long conference after this camping, so I have another bag with clothes dedicated for that. And I usually keep my bathroom kit and my nighttime clothes in a different bag just so I can easily grab them when I'm tired and want to crawl in and fall asleep. Yeah, let's see if I can get this. Yep, just like that. It's pretty nice. It does rub on the tailgate a little bit. You can see right there. And then, ooh, this glare is bad. Let me try it this way. Right there, you can see some rub spots. I'm not too concerned, I just would like to prevent it if I can. Oh, and of course I got my air pump in there and some work gloves. And then I run an extension cord that has a nice little 90-degree out. I run it all along through the side here up to the front. I'll talk about that more in a second when I get there. So I moved the front seat up. Oh, and by the way, I took out the actual rear seats. It's just a couple bolts for each. Super simple. And then of course the seat backs fold down to make it flat. But what that does is it buys me a little bit more storage area. So in here, I've got my toilet kit in case I really need it. Usually I just go with nature, but I've got that tent for privacy in case if I can't find a private area. Way down in there I've got 2 gallons of extra fuel. Got a dry sack with some fire starter gear, and I've got my propane tank. Got my Camelback if I want to go on a hike and it's a good reserve of water. I've got my Aquatainer here with I think it's 7 gallons of water. Camera bag, computer bag, that's mostly for the conference, but I could, if I needed to, offload pictures and work on that stuff at night, but generally I just wait till I get home. And then there's the front end of that other gear I showed you. And then in the front, got my Goal Zero battery. I didn't bring the solar panels this time because I'm in the woods and I knew I wasn't going to get good solar coverage. I've got my Atlas's party mix ready to go. Here's that charger that I mentioned. So it runs from the back all the way up through here, and then I just lay it on the chair, and that way I can charge up my lithium ion, I can charge up my 360 camera batteries, my Canon batteries, my camp light if I deplete that. Of course it's solar, but it's nice to be able to just charge stuff off the inverter easily. Down in front here I've got a snack bag, some more stuff like citronella candles, a couple of containers of water, just kind of reserve, and then my hiking boots and my sandals. Usually I wear my flip-flops, but that's a quick run through of my loadout, and this is more for me than for you, but I'm happy to share. But this configuration really works well. You know, I can just turn that water down and fill up my containers if I need to. I can come back in the back and do my cooking, and then I got my sleep station. I can just crawl in there and go right to sleep if I need to. I don't even have to pack up pack out the tent. But yeah, really happy with it so far. All right, so I decided to stay here. You can hear the creek behind me. I decided to stay. I took a little bit of a bath, just kind of washed my face and my underarms just to kind of feel a little cleaner, even though it's only been a day or two. And so I'm making dinner. Somehow I forgot the oil in my kitchen kit, so I have some sardines in, what is it, olive oil? Yeah, olive oil. So I ate the sardines and I I poured the olive oil in, and I'm making onions and peppers grilled up, and then I've got a chicken breast here that I'm going to throw in once those are cooked down a little bit, and then I'm probably going to put it all in a tortilla fajita style. So sun's already went down because I'm kind of down in a valley, so it's set back there behind me, and well, the sun, you can still see the sun up there, but it's not even 4 yet, it's 3:50. But just because I'm down in the valley, so I probably got about a day or an hour left of daylight. So I figured I'd cook some food and enjoy a beverage before packing it in. But pretty good first day. Alright, almost done here. I just put a little water in to deglaze all the stuff that was sticking. Even with that olive oil, stuff was sticking, so I had to put a little water in there to deglaze it off the pan. It's almost time for fajitas in the woods.